and
Yes.
we kept asking loads and loads of questions, and he said, well, I could speculate, but really we don't know.
We really don't know.
We just don't know. It became a catchphrase for us all. We'd be like,
Jack was there. See him, Jack? Fucking Jack came.
he was there in 3100 BC as well.
Plus.
Jack caught public transport everywhere we went, which is literally an impossibility. Well, it's not an impossibility because he did it, but it was amazing. He got everywhere.
We had to cancel gigs because we couldn't physically get from one gig to the next. We had a gig on an island called Egg.
I'm sure Jack.
And it was just, we couldn't actually get off one island onto the next island and get to a ferry. And they had a gig for us in Shetland, and they said, oh, well, how long's the ferry? Well, it's about 24 hours.
It's 12 hours.
What?
Jack could have done it.
These are more of the dwellings.
Yeah, look.
And this is all by the sea.
They had pizza, they all had pizza ovens. They said they found this enormous building and go like, this guy's really great, that's Mark Edmonds there. He said, there's a lot of, people always talk about spirituality and everything must have some spiritual significance. He says, I tend to think this was just a giant barbecue restaurant where people used to come. Because we found loads of deer's legs, but not the rest of the deer. He said, is that something they worshipped the leg of the deer, or did they just eat them because they were tasty?
This is inside one of the barrels.
It's inside a barrel.
And this is the ring of Brodgar, very
They didn't know.
Not to be confused with the ring of Fulks, which was like an ant's nest. But
the fiery ring. It was just unbelievably beautiful.
Keep going, because we're going to get...
There's John poking.
We asked him, what were they really doing? He said, well, because it's probably a religious site, but we don't really know. We just don't know. But, I mean, they said it probably was more like, the equivalent of a rock festival. These are wheels off their medieval chariots. That go on, keep going. There we are. And you can actually buy ceramic Daleks in the shop there.
I have one. Tiny ceramic.
This is the set of the Teletubbies. Have you ever seen that show? Susie going in to see if Tinky Winky's in there. And he was having it off with Pat Robertson. It's really weird, a kind of awkward moment.
This is actually an ancient burial mound. That's us inside it. It was quite small.
That's not me. That's it's blurry me.
Look at Robbie's hair. by this point,
Neolithic electricity was flowing through his every organ.
A shock.
That's Robbie crawling on his hands and knees because they may not be much shorter than us, but they were not as big as Robbie.
It's Helly Hole Road.
Helly Hole. That's another reference to Robbie's ass.
This is just a few pictures inside the really beautiful Stromness Museum of its shipfaring history. And that might be a time.
No, we've got the Hoy now.
We're going to Hoy. Okay,
the next island over from the mainland of Orkney is called Hoy. Here we are. Go on, get the photo. Keep going. It's called the Dark. Oh no, that's good. Go back to that one.
I took that one.
I'll go back before.
On the sites, the points of interest. Number 2. The douche.
That's what you. How come they had that, but not a shower for you?
All right.
This lures a unicorn. The next show. Let's leave that one up. We'll
Ivan the Terrible.
Well, we were on Hoy and we'd sung the song in Cromarty, this song, and it was a big hit because Cromarty never heard anyone have a song that mentioned their town. And we felt bad when we were in Hoy so we sort of.
Well, we felt bad because the PA didn't work at all, so we spent 3 hours.
We felt bad because it was the shittest gig ever. But we thought we'd try and amuse people by bringing the word Hoy into the song. So if you were, when I count to 9, if you could shout Hoy, it'll be, at least for me, Sally and Robbie, it'll be a weird flashback. Captain, come lead us and chart us a course through the icebergs, the fog and the hail. On the dog watch, a strange fear invaded my heart, and my blood froze like rain on the sail. With a yo and a ho, and there's one thing I know, we're not in the same boat at all. With a yo and a ho, and the wind starts to blow as we float off the edge of the world. A long list of saints shall watch over me while I'm casting my nets in the sea. A long list of saints, just as long as you're on, a candle is burning for me. With a yo and a ho, and there's one thing I know, we're not in the same boat at all. With a yo and a ho, and the wind starts to blow as we float off the edge of the world. Robbie Fulks on the guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hoy! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hoy! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hoy! We're going to do this 17 times, is that right? Yeah. Concrete and steel and a flame in the night, Cromarty, dogger and bite. A diver gets bent when he's pulled up too tight, and the fish can play tune on him both. With a yo and a ho, and there's one thing I know, we're not in the same boat at all. With a yo and a ho, and the wind starts to blow as we float off the edge of the world. As we float off the edge of the world. As we float off the edge of the world. Yeah! Cromarty, dogger and bite. If you're ever in England and you put the radio on late at night, they still have the shipping forecast, which is really weird. This strangely drugged sounding woman lists all the shipping areas and tells you what the wind direction is and stuff. But Cromarty, 50, rising, dogger, bite, steady. Yeah. Oh shit, look at that one. That's attractive.
That's attractive.
Sally in a shroud. Now we're leaving Hoy. There's Robbie with the wind up him. That's Hoy. Dark Isle, the Dark Isle. Leaving, then we had to go back to Hoy to Stromness to leave Stromness.
That's leaving Stromness.
With Hoy in the background. My favourite place. That's my favourite place in the world.